Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're looking at something that is literally reshaping the enterprise landscape. Look, we all know generative AI offers massive productivity leaps, right? But it's hit a huge roadblock in the corporate world. So we're going to break down AI Vault. It's the definitive enterprise solution that actually puts your company back in complete control of your employees' generative AI access. It tackles the two biggest bottlenecks stalling AI adoption right now: paralyzing data privacy risks and those spiraling, totally unpredictable vendor costs.
Here's a quick look at our agenda. We'll cover the enterprise AI crisis, why current solutions are failing, the AI Vault solution itself, its walled garden architecture, how it controls generative AI costs, and finally, the real business impact. All right, starting with part 1, the enterprise AI crisis and why the market is at a standstill.
You've got to consider this staggering statistic. According to the 2025 Cisco Data Privacy Study, 27% of enterprises have outright banned generative AI apps like ChatGPT and Claude. 27%. We are talking about major Wall Street banks like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, and even massive tech giants like Apple and Amazon. And it's not because they're ignoring AI. They are absolutely terrified of the massive data breach risks and those crippling GDPR fines that come with accidentally exposing sensitive corporate data.
This quote from author Shoshana Zuboff really hits the nail on the head regarding this corporate panic. She says, "The danger is that in this rush to deploy AI, companies could unknowingly create vulnerabilities that open the door to data breaches and privacy violations. Basically, this rush for productivity is unintentionally creating huge vulnerabilities." Think about it. Every time an employee pastes a client document or a financial query into an AI chatbot, they are potentially exposing highly sensitive data to third-party servers. Under European GDPR laws, that is a severe compliance violation just waiting to happen.
Which brings us to Section 2, why current solutions fail, or really, the myth of vendor compliance. So, there is a massive and frankly dangerous disconnect happening here. A lot of companies buy an enterprise license from an AI vendor, right? And they think they're completely safe just because the vendor promises not to use their data to train future models. But look at the GDPR reality. The law doesn't actually care if the data is used for training. GDPR strictly mandates no unlawful processing, transmission, or storage of personal data, period. If you send unredacted client data outside of your controlled environment over to a third-party AI server, you've lost control of it. You are violating data minimization rules. That vendor promise, it simply does not cover the harsh legal reality. And that leads us to the legal standard that's actually required by GDPR, the walled garden principle. Think of this as a strict security mandate ensuring that sensitive data never, ever leaves a company's secure environment unless it has been completely pseudonymized. The link to the original person or entity must be fundamentally broken. But here's the kicker. Current enterprise AI tools completely fail this test because, by their very nature, the data leaves your controlled environment the exact second you hit send on a prompt.
Moving right along to Section 3, the AI Vault solution, and how it delivers GDPR compliance by design.
This is exactly where AI Vault steps in. AI Vault is the only purpose-built environment as a service designed to bridge this exact compliance gap. Unlike those super complex security workarounds, AI Vault is just a turnkey solution. It gives you complete control by operating entirely within your own infrastructure. It secures your employees' generative AI access from the inside out, making sure it's used properly, and all without requiring your IT team to sit there and write thousands of lines of custom code.
Let's see how this actually builds. Here is how their patented workflow operates in 4 really seamless steps. First up, AI Vault instantly identifies sensitive terms in an employee's prompt. Second, it redacts and pseudonymizes that data entirely on-premise, right inside your walled garden. Third, it sends only the safe, anonymized prompt out to the external AI model. And finally, when the answer comes back, AI Vault reinstates the original sensitive data locally. The AI vendor literally never sees the real data.
So looking under the hood, before a prompt ever even leaves your company, AI Vault dynamically replaces context-sensitive nouns. We're talking about a client's name, a specific project code, or an employee's identity. It swaps those out with randomly generated tokens. This means the third-party AI provider, whether that's OpenAI or Anthropic, is completely blind to who you are and what specific entities you're actually asking about.
Let's jump into Section 4, Walled Garden Architecture and Patented Control.
Architecturally speaking, AI Vault sets up a dedicated client environment, usually in AWS, that contains all the user functionality and stores all that unredacted data in a local database. Now, this unredacted data is totally walled off. It never touches the AI Vault orchestrator, which is the layer that actually talks to the outside APIs. It's a complete physical and logical separation.
This architecture gives you an incredible defensive moat. You get a complete separation of client data. You're fully protected by a patented pseudonymization engine. Plus, compliance officers maintain 100% visibility over the whole ecosystem using strict role-based permissions, setting users as agents, admins, or superadmins. And here is a huge bonus. This secure environment allows for seamless multi-supplier AI integration. You aren't just locking down one model, you are effortlessly securing access to many.
All right, Section 5, Controlling Generative AI Costs, or the Economics of AI Vaults.
Listen, generative AI pricing is shifting incredibly fast right now, and it's basically going straight up as these vendors prepare for public IPOs. Being locked into a single supplier is becoming a massive financial liability. Case in point, Uber reportedly burned through its entire 2026 AI budget in just 4 months. No way, right? Opaque token counting and unmanaged employee access to these super premium models are just absolutely destroying IT budgets.
Well, AI Vault solves this by acting as a single, really powerful control point. First off, one AI Vault user license gets you access to multiple generative AI suppliers. Currently, that's OpenAI and Anthropic, with Grok coming imminently. This totally ends vendor lock-in and gives you your negotiating leverage back. Second, it uses role-based gating to control access to specific AI models, so you can route call center staff to faster, cheaper models like Anthropic's Haiku, while reserving the super expensive Opus models only for the researchers who genuinely need them. Combine that with full prompt-level transparency to monitor usage and a patented architecture that does token-efficient document exports, you are actively managing and reducing your AI spend.
Let's actually break down these savings mechanisms. By gating those expensive models, you can save up to 30%. The token-efficient architecture saves up to 20%. And honestly, just the behavioral change from users knowing their prompts are transparently logged, that saves up to 15% right there. So for the investor audience tuning in, here is the bottom line. AI Vault typically delivers a 20 to 60% token spend reduction per seat. That is massive, immediate, and highly measurable ROI.
Now for our final section, Section 6, the business impact and securing the ROI. 20 million euros, or 4% of a company's global turnover. That is the maximum GDPR fine in enterprise risks when they try to operate without a walled garden. AI Vault actively prevents companies from suffering this kind of catastrophic financial and reputational damage. It literally makes non-compliant data processing practically impossible right at the architecture level.
And they back it up with hard proof through a real-time compliance dashboard. For the very first time, data protection officers and CISOs have an interface that provides auditable proof of safe AI usage across the entire organization. You get full transparency on exactly what the AI is being used for. You can see what data was redacted, monitor user compliance, and confidently prove to regulators that your company is fully operating within GDPR guidelines.
So, we're going to end with this critical question for every IT leader and compliance officer out there. Can you definitively prove your enterprise AI is GDPR compliant? Because right now, without the patented walled garden and pseudonymization that AI Vault provides, the honest answer from most enterprises is simply no. AI Vault puts your company in complete control of your employees' generative access. It cuts your costs by up to 60%, gives you incredible transparency, and finally makes enterprise AI legally safe. Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and we will see you next time.